As you can see, I've already created an application workspace with an entity and view object based on a customer's table. Let's take a look at the schema real quick. So you'll see that I have created a primary key, customers. I've also created a trigger and a sequence. And then in my customer's entity object, you'll see that I base my customer ID on the database sequence. So now what I want to do is create a view object. And I'll name this Customers Country Static View. And this data source here is going to be a static list, which I will import here in a moment. So I'll create a couple of attributes, transient attributes, one called country code and the next called country. And then for country code, I'm going to change the type here to numeric or a number. And then in the next step, I will import my list. So this is just a comma separated values list with numbers in one column and the countries in the other. You can download these quite easily from the internet. I will add this to the application module. You could also do this after the fact if you forgot to do it here. And then for UI hints, I want to set the selected value to country. Alright, so now what I want to do is expose this to my user interface. So I will create a JSF page. And I will use one of the default templates here and apply themes to this. And now to refresh the data controls, and I can start binding data to my user interface. So I'll do that now. Okay, so I will work with the customer's view data control and create a form on the page. And I'm going to delete a couple of these. You may wonder why I'm deleting country, but you'll see here in a moment. I'll add navigation controls to this. And now what I want to do is go to my customer's country static view so I can create a list of values here or a single choice list and use that static list that I imported. But first, let's add a couple of more buttons here. So I'm going to add the create insert, and I'll just name this insert. I'll also add a commit, which I'll call submit, and then a rollback in case I choose to cancel the insert that I've created, and I'll just call that one cancel. And now to add the static list to this. So I will take the country attribute from my customer country static view and drop this after my customer name as an ADF select one choice. And this is where it gets a little tricky, but still not too complicated. So for my data source, I want my customer's view. So dynamic list. For the list data source, this is where I want the customer's country static view, and I want to map the country value here to the country data value that I'll persist in my database, and then also change the display attribute to country. So I can save this and simply run this right here and test it out in my integrated server. And as you'll see, I've already got a few values in here with countries assigned. So various customers, I can do an insert here, and I'll create a new customer and then select a country at random here for this customer. And then we'll take a look at the database, and you'll see that this is actually persisting this data in the database. So just looking at the customers table, you'll see Xerox with the country of Aruba. So just going back to the browser again and navigating through this, and you'll see that it is persisting this information and correctly assigning these values to the customer. That's all there is to it.